Here it is, the first week of April, in front of my shop here in Laval, Quebec. And usually at this time last year would be full of cars, full of people, full of customers on a Saturday morning at 10 a.m. like it is right now. So as you can see, if you look around, no one's working, everybody's closed. And I'm here just to deliver a couple of cars that were here during the week with essential repairs that we needed to do for 2 clients that I've done here. And besides that, there's nothing else to do but work on projects if I have parts. So in the meantime, let's take a walk in the shop and let's see what's going on. I posted closed, we're closed to the public, of course. I'm here today because I want to deliver a couple of cars that I've had repaired on the outside. We repaired that because that was an essential repair that we had to do. Of course, when people come in for tire changes and oil changes, we don't touch that. We don't do it. We're just here to do essential repairs. And this is how it is right now on a Saturday. We keep the lights shut. I want to show people we're closed. I want to keep it quiet. I don't want no crowds. I want nobody to come in. I want to keep everything at essential distance. And the only person I'm waiting for today here is my friend Manny, because he wants to set up a screen in the dining room. That's the only person that's going to be in the shop here today. By the way, he just came in. Manny, how are you?
Good, hey, how's it going? Good. Maintaining our 6-foot distance?
Keep him, you have to keep 6 feet. And did you get him the equipment we need for the screen?
I did. I'm just going to grab him and bring him in now.
Go right ahead. Thanks, Manny. So here we are. No one here. I'm just doing repairs on my dining room, and that is about it. And nothing else has moved. Everything's standstill. If parts come in, I might come here during the week, work on a project. If no parts come in, we don't work on it. So in the meantime, you know, I have a chance that Manny came in and we got a screen to put into the dining room. But a lot of people, I read a lot of comments are asking me that, Nick, why don't you put a screen on the dining room side so you can read the airflow ratio without going back and forth in your office? We're just about to start putting that together very soon.
Nico? How you doing, buddy? Good. So
you brought everything we need?
Yep.
You got a screen, you got a frame.
Got a frame.
Okay.
Actually, it'll fit even a bigger television if ever you want to go that way.
That way.
But this thing will grab and hold this straight up. Okay. So on the wall. VGA cable.
Okay.
And I have the converters in the bag outside. So.
Okay, you know what I said? We're gonna put it, where do you think we should put it, facing this way or facing that way? I think facing this way.
You're here.
Yes.
You have to be able to see it.
I was thinking, right put it aside on the side, put it right in that corner.
Move the melon can thing over.
Yes.
And just put the screen there.
Yes.
It's a good spot.
Okay. Because I'm gonna I gotta put a hole in the wall from the back side.
On the back.
That's right, exactly. Okay, let's see what we're gonna do here now. This is where I keep all my headers for dyno testing. I got so many different models for so many different engines. I stock them up in here. That's our little stock room here. And I'm gonna help Manny mount the screen. Okay, let's get going. There. I'll have a few more comments less. People are gonna say, hey Nick, you finally did it. Yes, we have. Okay, now we're going to splice the wiring. I'm going to hook it up to your lights. And then look, the screen will only go on when I turn the lights on.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, because sometimes I work on the edge, I don't need the screen, so I don't turn on the lights. It's about time. I was looking forward to this over a year ago to put a screen in my shop. But now with all these comments coming in, telling me, Nick, put it up in my dining room on this side. Well, here it is. We're putting it up. Good stuff. I'm finally gonna have a screen on the other side. Cool. I can look at RPMs, I can look at everything. Whatever is gonna be on display on this screen will be on display on the screen inside the dining room. What, does it look straight to you or what?
I like it.
You like it?
Yep.
We had the 346 back on the dynamometer, and a lot of people made a comment that the oil pressure was too high. It was like 100 psi. Yes, it was, and that was an oil pump that was supplied by the customer, and it was an oil pump that was not from Melling. It was from, I believe, Chrysler. It was a Chrysler box. It was a brand new oil pump, and of course, we just lubed it before we installed it on the engine, because the customer brought most of the parts in. So anyways, I put it on the side right now. I'm going to remove the pump later on. And just to let you know, it was not a Melling pump. It was a Chrysler pump. And for that reason, I got to open it up and, of course, drop the oil pressure and before I deliver the engine to the customer. You know, I've been using a lot of Melling products, and you know I love them. They work for me. So I stand behind their products, let me tell you. And then you know what?
Is this good?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Is it a good spot?
Bring it a bit to the right. No, it's good there. It's good. Right there.
And it's almost in line with the
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Hit it. Okay, now that the screen is working, we've got it installed. I'm putting in the parameters and the specifications for this engine. I've got here an engine that came in from outside. It's an old engine that someone just bought. His name is Gary. He's asked me just to put on the dynamometer and make a test, and it should be around 500 horsepower or so, I don't know. But anyways, I got it up there and it's ready to get started. We're just gonna make a test just to see if my gauges work. I wanna see the air-fuel ratio works outside, and we'll see how it goes. So let's put them in, the specs, and get us started. What I've got here is a small block Chevy with elder block heads. Apparently it's a stroker, 383 stroker Chevy small block. Should be a good motor. It should make around 500 horsepower. I believe it's got roller rockers, roller cam. I don't know the specs. The man just bought the engine the way it is. He's brought it here. I wish I had 1/7/8 headers, which I don't. I have the 1/3/4 headers, so we're gonna make the best out of it. And we're gonna make the test and see how it goes. So here we go. Let's get it warmed up and take it from there. We're gonna start at 3,900 RPM, go to 6,500 at 300 RPMs per second. And it's at 383 cubic inch, so we're ready to go. So far it's working. So I just hope the last was all this vibration and noises in this room. So let's put it to the test. Okay, here we go. Working. The screen here is light blue.
Yes.
Up there it's dark blue. You can't read the black number on it. But when it gets to...
You change the lighting a little bit
Yeah,
on the
but
screen.
it's going to turn green when it turns into the operating temperature. Then when it turns red, you know you're overheating. So blue means it's cold.
Approximation, you'll be fine.
That's right, I'm going to go with the color. Anyways, for now, it's good. Next year we'll put a bigger screen. But I could work with it, don't worry. Yeah, it comes and goes. I think the screen, the monitor's gone. I don't think the screen is, it's an old screen, but you know what, I'm gonna get a new one. I'm gonna replace it. But anyways, we're gonna make one test on this engine. It's an old engine. When I tested the way it came in, with the his spark plugs, his wires on the cables for the spark plugs, I'm just gonna make one test. I wanna check, see if everything works until it comes in next week. But in the meantime, since I got it running, I wanna check the screens. Let's make one test so you viewers can see what it can do. Here we go. to bring down the RPM. Here we have it. This is just one test. We're almost at 500 horsepower. We pulled out like a 480, 45, 46. Historic numbers are at 466 at 4,600. You know what? Now that we, like I said, I usually make one test, heat up the cast iron, the block, heat sink it. So let's make another test back to back and see how it goes. Here we go. Load it up, buddy. And here we go. Goes there. Oh, not bad. Torque is up to 465, almost at 4,700, and our horsepower right now is at 491. We're almost at 500 at 6,300 RPM. We're almost there. And there we have it. Of course, the idle is pretty high. I could bring it down. There we have it. We're almost at 500 horsepower. It is a 3D3 with a roller cam and so forth. Well, anyways, we're going to wait for Gary to come in next week to look at it, but I just wanted to make some tests.
And he was expecting 500? Yeah.
Yeah, he expected over 500, but I said we're probably going to make 500, and I was pretty good with that. But you know what? You could use a bigger header. It's got a 1 3/4 header, but I prefer the 1/7/8 on a 3D3, which I don't have right now. And Gary might have a set. He might bring him in, and we'll do some testing further next week. But in the meantime, I just want to see if my screen is still alive.
Still alive.
It's an old screen. I hope it lasts. If not, we're just going to get a bigger screen for the future.
And the engine works well too.
Yes. Like I said, it's an old engine. He just bought it. He told me, put it on the dyno, just run a nick and check the oil pressure, check your fuel ratio. It's pretty good. It's old. It's doing pretty good, let me tell you. Hey?
It's healthy.
Not bad. It's got more than 1 horsepower per cubic inch, that's for sure. Here we got a 383-stroker small block Chevy that puts out almost 500 horsepower. Here it is, it's Saturday with the Corona crisis going on, and it's a Saturday here on my shop. It's sunny outside, it's warm, and of course no one is here. It's like a spooky garage. Of course everybody's on a lockdown, everybody's at home. I'm here all alone. I just wanted to do a couple of things here. That tire machine right there wouldn't be stopped right now. It'd be running around the clock doing tire changes, because now it's the season that we put back summer tires on the public vehicles. But anyways, everything's shut down, we're not gonna go there. But anyways, I was working on this here, Robert's 71 340 Dart. It's a 360 motor stroked out to a 408 cubic inch. And what Robert does with this car, all he does is just drag racing with it. You know, I have a most common times I have a car to fix for a street, for a cruiser, but this is a rare case that I build a car just for racing. And he came in, because he damaged the head gasket. But yeah, we have the coolant inside the cylinder number 3. So I had to look into it, and we found that the head gasket was blown. So I told him that we're not gonna go with the same paper gaskets, we're gonna go with chromatic. So we ordered a set, we got them in a few days ago, and we had them installed. So now that I got the heads installed, I'm just waiting for a radiator hose to come in. Something better than what he had before. He had this ugly thing there, but anyways, I've ordered something, and I find the belt is too thick for his alternator. This is a 17 series. I ordered him another belt, 13 or 15 series, to finish that off, and then we want to get it started and run it. We changed the casing on the differential housing. We went to a Yukon nylon iron. We've also replaced the gears to a 391, the special soft gears for drag racing only. And we also have a set of strange axles installed with long studs. He wanted to make the rear end bulletproof, so I don't blame him because this just does drag racing. So Robert, there you have it. The only thing I'm waiting for right now is the hose and the belt. And hopefully in a few days, we're gonna get it running. And I remember when this car was towed in here, we had issues with the ignition. The cylinder is very loose, so he's asked me, Nick, order a new cylinder, and of course, replace it. So after I get it started, I'm gonna roll the car forward so I can open the door and replace this cylinder, because that one on his car is very loose. So I gotta replace this. So that's gonna get done. But then again, I gotta code the key, or should I say take his old key, code this cylinder to the key on the door, because we want the thing to be all the same. That's where it came from the factory. Doors and ignition were the same key. But when you buy a new cylinder, it's already coded. So we know that this is not gonna work with the door. And the locksmith who does this for me right now is on a lockdown. So that's gonna take a while to get done. And you know, I've got plenty of time right now that since I'm on a lockdown, no publics here, no public clients or anything like that, gives me a chance to work on these projects and get them up to date. And then I've got another car here. His name is Josh, 68 Barracuda. Nice car. This is an engine I built over 10 years ago. That not for Josh before he bought the car. I built the engine for another guy named Tony. I remember when he brought all these pieces, there was a race motor setup. It's a stroker, of course, also a 360 stroker. He brought it to me when I had a dyno down in the old shop 10 years ago, and he brought it to me in pieces, and I put it all together, put on the dyno, got it going for him, and then after that, he took it home. And then 10 years later, I see it in a car right here in this particular vehicle right here, 68 Barracuda. Of course, he's got the 88R stripes on it. They don't belong on a 68 Barracuda, but they're good looking in this car. It is a CUDA in the first place. Okay, it's not a 1970 AAR CUDA, but of course it looks good. It's a beautiful car. It's an A-body. A lot of people love the A-bodies. So do I. They're small cars, light cars. You put a small block in them and they go quick. And they're very, very enjoyable. This is a very simple car. It's fixed up with a few shift light gauges. It's got his own shifter, toggle switches. This is the way you like to drive it. And of course, he brought it in here to fix a few things. For example, oil leaks. Change the differential ratio because he's got a 430 gear ratio. He wants to bring it to a 355 ratio so he could do some more highway driving. It overheats. We got to look into that. He's got exhaust leaks, oil leaks, and of course, he wants to make it more simple to drive. Besides that, it's a fun car. And I wanted to take it for a drive the other day, which I couldn't get it started because it's got no fuel. So I took off the air cleaner, took a look down on the carburetor. I accelerated a few times, there's no fuel. So next week I'm gonna go to the service station, or should I say gas station, buy some fuel, put it in. I wanna take it for a drive and see if it needs any anything else repairs, because he's got a list on it. It's pretty long. I'm gonna work on it when I get a chance after a couple of jobs I do here. It's nice to see an engine that I built 10 years ago. It was on a dynamometer. I don't remember the horsepower. I think it was in the 500 something on this motor. But it's nice. I built it. I remember the customer picked it up. And 10 years later, I see it back here in a 68 Barracuda. And of course, it's a different owner. You know that every car that comes into my shop comes with a list. And the best part is, you know, they always say 2, 3 items. And then when they bring the car past my door into the shop, the list comes out and it's 10 times longer than you expected. Anyways, I'm used to that. That's what I'm here for. So just before you know it, I'll get on this one very soon. And then I've got Pierre's Roadrunner, who's bought my keeper. I installed it. I've got everything in place except for exhaust system. But I can't get the pieces I need yet. Somehow they're not coming in, so I gotta wait for that. And at the same time, I'm waiting for a heater box that it's missing. So I gotta wait for the parts on this. So this is also on standstill at the moment. I also have John's charger, 68 Hemi charger. The only thing I'm waiting for on this one is the positive battery cable and a battery, so I can get it started, so I can have it shipped to Australia. But then again, like I said, everything is on a standstill, and it's not going anywhere. So at the moment, I'm waiting for parts for this one also. So when parts come in, I'll put them on. If not, I'll just stay home in the meantime. If a couple of pieces come in, I might come in on my own and work on these cars as the parts come in. And you know, garages by law are essential services, but it depends on what you want to do. You know, if I have a client that comes in here and he asks me just to change tires, I'm not going to do it because that's not essential. If a client comes in, or maybe works for the hospital, or works for a pharmacy, or works for a supermarket, and they got a flat tire, then of course I'll take care of their car and fix it. I spent a few days here alone in the shop, and the phone kept ringing, and I was just curious. I kept looking at the caller ID on the phone, and I noticed that most of the phone calls I had were from out of town. I said, you know what, these are my viewers. You know, maybe I don't have any contacts with anybody here in Human, but when I get these viewers like yourselves, that you phone me in that shop, and I pick up the phone and I know it's a viewer from anywhere in the world, which is anywhere, I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I pick up the phone and I always ask, where are you guys located? Where are you calling from? And that makes me feel like I'm connected with you folks. And you know what? That is something very special, very special. So I don't know what to say, you guys. I just gotta thank you. Even though I'm alone in the shop, I still feel like I'm connected to you guys. And I wanna thank you all for everything. I don't see my friends coming in here. I don't see my clients coming in here. But at least I have the chance to talk to you, the viewers on my channel here on Nick's Garage on YouTube. So it's a pleasure. I just want to put up as many videos as I can for you guys to watch while you're all locked up at home. I want everybody to stay safe so we can get this thing over with as quick as possible. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.